We have all watched Barrett Jackson and seen some beautiful cars fetch ungodly amounts of money from people that seem to have pockets so deep that they rival the Grand Canyon. But what if you're into Mustangs and don't have deep pockets? What cars will continue to climb in value, and which ones can be purchased at a relative steal, considering they might one day roll across the block at Mecum or Barrett? In this video, I'm going to tell you my top 5 choices for future modern Mustang collectibles. And please understand that when I say this, I'm basing it on the production dates of 1979 to 1993. Basically, the Fox Mustang platform. Keep in mind that this list is in no particular order. There is no best or worst here, just Mustangs that I believe will continue to be collectible. Some are already starting to appreciate. Now, I'm not going to mention the usuals. You know, the 93 Cobra, Cobra R, SVO Mustangs. This list is for the lesser known Mustangs that still might be somewhat attainable. So let's get started. The first Mustang on this list is the 1979 Mustang Pace Car. In '79, the redesigned Fox Body Mustang was chosen to pace the Indianapolis 500, the first time since its inception in 1964. Engine choices were the 2-barrel 5.0-liter V8, which could be had with a choice of a 4-speed manual or a 3-speed automatic. Or you could have opted for the turbocharged 2.3-liter inline 4-cylinder, which was only available with a 4-speed manual. Believe it or not, Ford sold less V8 cars than Turbo 4s. But in those days, most people thought more about fuel economy than horsepower. The Pace Car offered a special exterior styling package with Marcal fog lamps, a black reverse hood scoop, TRX suspension, wheels and tires, blacked out lower body cladding, and unique Pace Car badging. The interior featured Recaro seats with special netted halo headrests. There are so many little things that make this car special that it makes my list for many reasons. Next on the list is the 1982 Mustang GT. In 1980, Ford had reacted to the oil crisis by dropping the 5.0 engine and bringing in a 4.2-liter, 255 cubic inch V8 capable of 120 horsepower. Yes, 120 horsepower in a V8. And in these darkest performance days, Ford decided it was time to answer the call by bringing back the GT badge that had been absent since 1969. The 1982 GT had styling much like the Indy Pace Car mentioned before, but with a few changes. The hood scoop, although non-functional, was now forward-facing, and all of that lettering was gone. But goodies like the aggressive front air dam, TRX suspension and wheels, fog lamps, and Recaros had all returned. Also making its return was the 5-liter V8. Although with some tweaks, it was back with 157 horsepower. Ford advertising claimed, "The boss is back." And even though quarter-mile times were not exactly blazing by today's standards, for Ford to invest in a V8 pony car in that economic climate was impressive. They are beautiful cars, worth looking at, and easily make my list. Continuing along our Mustang lineage is the 1984 Mustang GT350. When we think of the GT350 now, we might think of road race classic fastbacks or high-revving modern machines. Well, in 1984, Ford wanted to celebrate the 20th anniversary of its beloved Mustang, and it did so by resurrecting the GT350 name that had not seen a Mustang since 1970. This time, however, the nameplate had nothing to do with Shelby. It was a Ford-only project producing a little over 5,000 cars. The GT350 was available as a hatchback or a convertible, but all wore Oxford white paint and red interiors. Standard GT equipment included TRX suspension and wheels, and a front air dam with fog lamps. The GT350 was more of a styling exercise with special striping along the lower body, striping along the belt line, but without the side moldings that were on every other model, and special running horse fender badges. Engine choices were also standard GT fare, with the Turbo 4 making 145 horsepower or a 5.0 V8 now making 175 horsepower with a 5-speed manual transmission and a 4-barrel carburetor, or 165 horsepower using central fuel injection paired with the automatic overdrive transmission. No, it wasn't the fire-breathing monster one might expect when hearing GT350, but it was a Ford anniversary car, was made in limited quantities, and it's a beautiful example of a 4-ride Mustang. For that, it makes my list. Coming up next on the list is the 1985 Mustang GT. To many, it was the last of the pure Mustangs, the final carbureted pony car. And while fuel injection is not a bad thing by any means, the 1985 Mustang GT boasted 210 horsepower when coupled to the Borg-Warner T5 manual transmission. The 85 GT featured the highest power of any Mustang since the muscle car heydays of the early 70s by using a 600 CFM Holley 4-barrel carburetor with a dual snorkel air cleaner, high-lift roller camshaft, tubular exhaust headers, and a better flowing exhaust system. If you opted for the AOD transmission, well, you left horsepower on the table moving to CFI. So on this list, we're only looking at the stick cars. The blacked out hood stripe with GT logo and the open wide mouth front fascia are super aggressive, and this pony rode on 15-inch 10-hole wheel and meaty Goodyear Gatorback tires. Thumbs up if you remember those. In 1986, Ford moved to sequential electronic fuel injection, which initially lost 10 horsepower, but quickly rebounded with the 87 to 93 Aero cars. But for me, the car that personifies muscle is the 85 GT, and that's why it made this list. The final spot on my list belongs to the limited edition convertibles of the early 1990s. And there were three. All three have styling that sets them apart, but mechanically, all three are standard LX 5.0s, and there is nothing wrong with that at all. In 1990, Ford released a green LX convertible with a white top and white interior that featured turbine wheels taken from the GT. These were coined 7-Up cars, as they were originally created for the 7-Up soft drink company to give away in a contest. Well, the giveaway was scrapped, but Ford decided to produce the cars in larger quantities, just over 4,000 units. In 1993, Ford released two special edition convertibles. A chrome yellow version with a black top and black leather interior had chrome versions of the 16-inch pony wheels, while a triple white version, white top, white interior, white exterior, had bright white pony wheels on it. The yellow and white drop tops were the last of the limited edition Foxes, and only about 3,000 in total were made, making them the rarest of all the years, if you count each color separately. Those drop tops are really beautiful cars, but the one I'm going to place squarely in my sight for this list falls right in the middle of those two model years, the 1992 limited edition. It has been called a feature car and a summer edition, and it was released in the middle of the 1992 model year. It wore vibrant red paint, and that paint covered more of the car, including the mirrors and trim, and for the first time, the convertible's luggage rack was replaced by a conservative, yet sporty pedestal mount rear wing. The interior was similar to the 7-Up cars, with white leather interior and ponies in the headrest. The stock 16-inch pony wheels were painted a pearlescent white, which give it a unique and really amazing look. Less than 2,200 of these beauties were produced, but what also makes this car special is that 92 was the last year that Ford used forged pistons in their 5-liter engines, before moving to hyper-eutectic pistons in 1993. Plus, the way this color pops, well, it rounds out my top 5. So what do you think? Did I nail it? Did I miss the mark? Sound off in the comments section and let me know how I did. Are there any that you think I'd missed? I'd love to hear it in the comments as well. Now, if you like this video and would like to see more, please hit that like button, and please subscribe and click that little bell so you don't miss out on any more content. And if you think I should do more of these types of videos for other years of Mustang, let me know in a comment as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.